Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Michael's Diamond World. And today, I am going to be building a skeleton farm. So, the first thing that I need to do is grab up all the supplies that I need to build this. So, I'm going to go over to the storage room. And I'm not going to be picking up a dog today because it's going to be way too dangerous working underground with the mobs. So I'm just going to leave the dogs for another episode. But to build this skeleton farm, you're going to need first a skeleton dungeon. Now, the build that I'm going to be doing works with most dungeons that you can get. But I'm going to be focusing mainly on skeletons today to try and get bones. So I can get like an infinite amount of bones. So what I'm going to need to start off with is you're going to need some magma blocks. Now, depending on how big you want this, you're going to need more magma blocks. So I'm going to grab a whole stack here, so I've got plenty. You're also going to need some hoppers. So you're going to need one hopper, and then you also need one hopper and a minecart. So I'm going to go and grab both my hoppers here. You're also going to need one rail. So I'm going to go and grab a rail here. And then you're also going to need a chest. So depending on how much storage you want, you're going to need more hoppers and more chests. So I'm going to start with just making a double chest. This is the biggest storage I can get, but you can upgrade this by getting more hoppers and extending the storage down. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go and make my minecart with the hopper. So I've got the magma blocks, the minecart, I've got the hoppers, and the chest. The next thing that I need to do is head over to where the dungeon is at. So the past few episodes, I've been working on building my underground village. And while I was creating that, I found myself a skeleton dungeon that was down here. And I wanted to turn it into an automatic farm. So I'm going to show you where that is in a second. But the other thing you do need is 2 buckets of water so you can make an infinite water source. And you're also going to need a slab. Any slab will work. So I'm going to make one of those later when I need it. But the first thing I need to do is grab up some water so I can make an infinite water source. So right down here, I've got a little staircase, and behind this cobblestone is the dungeon. And as you can see, there's already some skeletons and a spider in here. So I'm going to go ahead and put torches on the spawner to start off with, just so nothing spawns in. And then you're also going to clear out a bunch of blocks around this area. So I'm going to dig out 4 blocks away from the spawner. So on each of these, you're going to dig out 4 blocks from each side, like this. So once you dig out the 4 blocks away from the spawner, you're going to dig out the entire area that's inside those 4 different points that you created. And that's going to be the size of the spawning area for the actual mobs. Now, if you do have a cave that's connected to this, like this one over here, you want to make sure you block that up. So I will do that at the end. But first, I want to clear out this entire area. Okay, so I've just cleared out the entire room here. And now that that's done, I can actually put in the water. So I'm going to start the water over on this side. And depending on where your entrance is, you're going to want to put the water in a different spot. So my entrance is going to be over on this side. So I'm going to put the water on this wall here, so it pushes all the skeletons over this block, which then I'm going to push them over here. And this is going to be where I'm going to send all the skeletons down, and then they'll die and we'll get all of their resources. So I'm going to go ahead and put in the water. And you want to make sure when you put the water in, you don't want to put the blocks right next to each other. You want to put 1 bucket there, 1 bucket there, and then this middle block is now an infinite water source. So every other block, you're going to put a bucket down, and then you can keep grabbing the water back. And there we go. Now we've got water that pushes all the way over to this side. So now that we've got that, I'm going to go and dig out this block right here. And I'm going to put another bucket down over on this side, which then will send all the skeletons into this spot right here. And now I'm going to dig this down, and I'm going to put the magma blocks down there to actually kill the skeletons. So I'm going to go and dig down a few blocks. It doesn't matter how many blocks you dig down. The further you go, the more fall damage the skeletons are going to take. But they're going to die from the magma blocks anyways. So now that I've got this hole, I'm going to go and put a torch down so it's easier to see. And I'm going to put my magma block right there. Now the next thing I need to do is build the room that we're actually going to collect up all the items in. So I'm going to jump down here, and as you can see, when stepping on this, you end up taking damage. So that's why I'm using the magma blocks to kill the skeletons. So now what you're going to do is you're going to go underneath the magma block here, and you're going to place your hopper one block underneath the magma block. So you've got this space right here, which is where the minecart with a hopper is going to go. So you're going to put a rail on the hopper. You're going to put the minecart there. And the reason why I'm using a minecart is because the minecarts with the hopper can actually pick up items through blocks. So if I throw blocks up on here, you can see they're actually getting collected, and they go into this hopper down here, which then will go into your chest. So I'm going to go and put the chest down right underneath here. So we'll put one chest like that. And now we should be able to get into here and grab up all of the bones that we collect. Now the next thing I need to do is build an entrance to this chest. And if you want to upgrade this, all you have to do is break this block right here, put another hopper, and then do another chest. And the easiest way to do this would be to put a hopper here, and then do a double chest on these two blocks right here. And then dig the next block underneath it, which would be here. And then put another double chest going that way. You can just kind of like zigzag the chests, and it'll make it way easier to store stuff. So eventually I will upgrade the storage, but I don't have all the hoppers to do that today. But that's how you would upgrade this to get more storage than just one large chest here. So now what I want to do is I want to get a ladder, which of course I didn't bring ladders with me. So I'm going to use scaffolding temporarily, but eventually I am going to need to get a ladder. Alright, so I've just created a staircase here that leads down into the brand new skeleton farm. So this is the skeleton farm right here. I will eventually get rid of all these blocks and get it set up. But first, I want to fill in this area here. And now, if I had some tinted glass, you could actually put tinted glass in here. So that way, you can see the skeletons spawning in, but it won't let any light in. Now, the next thing that I want to do is fill in this area right here with cobblestone. So that way, the skeletons are only going to be falling down there. And I'm going to go and break away all these blocks. So now everything is going into that one spot. So now I'm going to go ahead and break the torches on here. And it's going to get really dark so that the skeletons can start spawning. So there goes that. And as you can see, the skeletons are now spawning. I just realized I forgot to get that stuff that's over there. So I'm going to have to go block that up. But as you can see, the skeletons are dying. And we should be able to get all of the resources when we go back down. But first, I want to go grab my bed and my chest that I had over here. So if I go and dig a little tunnel here, I can go and get to this. And this is just where I kept all of the supplies. So I'll go ahead and grab that up off camera and bring that back to the house. Now, eventually, I do want to get a ladder here. But temporarily, I'm just going to use scaffolding. But I will get a ladder put in there eventually. But this is where all of the items are going. And as you can see, we've got all of our stone and some bones and arrows are starting to come in here. Now, there's one more thing that I need to add before I finish this off, and that is a slab. So you can use any slab for this. I'm just going to use cobblestone slabs because I got a bunch of cobblestone from digging this out. So you want to go inside of here. Of course, there's a skeleton right there. And you want to put a slab on top of the spawner. And the reason why you want to do that is so that it keeps the skeletons from spawning up here. Because you want them to spawn down here and fall in the water. And if there's a slab on top, they can't spawn on like a half block. It has to be a full block for them to spawn. So that will keep them from spawning up there. So I'm going to go ahead and head back in here. Block up this so the skeletons can start falling down. And we can head down here and grab up all the stuff. So let's see how much I've gotten already. I've already gotten 5 bones and 6 arrows. Oh, we got 7 bones now. So this is going to just keep grabbing resources down here until it fills up. And when this fills up, it just keeps going down to the next chest that you have. And you can keep digging this down as far as you want. But for now, I'm just going to leave it as just one double chest until I need to upgrade it. But that's pretty much it for making the skeleton farm. It's pretty easy. Now, if you wanted to upgrade this to work with other mobs like spiders, you do need to increase the hole size. So right over here is just a 1-block hole. If you wanted spiders, you would need to have like a 5-block hole. So that way the spiders will actually fit down there. But because this one is just for skeletons, we don't have to worry about that. Now, if you wanted to turn this into an experience farm as well, you can actually just get rid of the magma block with a piston and turn it into a solid block, and then you can just sit down here. I'll have like another layer, like probably right about here. If you just build another section and break the block above the magma block, you can actually just kill the skeleton straight away just by using a piston to cover the magma block. So that's another thing you can do with this to turn into an experience farm as well. So now that I've got all of these bones in here, I might as well use them for something. So I'm going to go ahead and take these bones back to the house here. And I want to use these to grow the brand new farm that I've got. So that way I can actually use the bones for something. Because that's the main reason why I've created this. Is so that I can get bones for making bone meal to get the crops to grow faster. And you can also use the bone meal for other things like growing trees, growing grass, pretty much growing anything you can use the bone meal for. But this is my new farm right here. So I'm going to go and turn all of this into bone meal. And that was 18 bones. I've got 54 bone meal to use. So all you have to do is give the crops like 1 or 2 pieces of bone meal to get them fully grown. Now you want to make sure you grow the crops that are close to being done first. So that way you can use the least amount of bone meal on them. And then move on to the lower crops like this one over here, which will use about like 2 pieces of bone meal to finish. So this is going to be really helpful for speeding up the farm over here. Now, I'm not going to harvest this today because I'm not going to have enough to get all of the crops fully grown, but I'm able to do a decent job. So just from using 18 bones, I was able to grow a lot of crops here, which is really helpful. But that's going to be pretty much it for today. So I'm going to go ahead and end the episode here. So make sure to leave a like and to subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Goodbye, everybody.